Hello and welcome to Unacademy, a one-stop destination for all the English medium civil service aspirants. Welcome to another session of Economy Explained. And in today's session, let's try and understand whether the farmers' demand for a guaranteed MSP, is it feasible or not feasible? But before that, a very important announcement. We have already started an online classroom program for English medium civil service aspirants. If you are interested, you can give a call to this number. And in addition to this, there is a 50% discount which we are providing to you, and a 6 months extension will also be provided for your course. And this facility is available till 17th of February. Now, let's start the discussion. In the last couple of days, you must have seen headlines of this sort in the newspapers. On one side, Government of India is telling the farmers, stop the agitation, come to the negotiations table. If you want, we will form one more committee. Let's discuss it out. And it has categorically stated it will not be providing a guaranteed MSP for the farmers. And on the other side, the Congress party has promised to the farmers that if they are elected to the power in the upcoming elections, then one of the promises that they will be fulfilling will be a guaranteed MSP or MSP legally guaranteed. Now let's try and understand what is the issue all about. What is the discussion all about? Is there any benefit of providing a legal guarantee to the MSP? If yes, then what are the benefits? And if it is provided, then what are the concerns or issues associated with this legal guarantee? Point number one, as discussed in earlier sessions as well, MSP basically stands for Minimum Support Price. Government of India introduced the concept of MSP back in the year 1966 and 67. And by the way, do you know which is the first crop to be covered under MSP? If yes, please let me know the answer to that in the comment section. Point number two, MSP is announced by the government, decided by Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs based on the recommendations that are given by Commission for Agriculture Cost and Prices. As of now, CACP will recommend MSP to more than 20 crops, and the Government of India, that is the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, will decide, announce it before the sowing season actually begins. Next point. The Government of India currently announces MSP that is 150% of cost of production. 150% of cost of production. The government no doubt announces MSP for more than 20 crops, but the procurement is mainly focused on two crops, paddy and wheat. Now these are certain basic points which we have discussed in the earlier sessions as well. Now come to the main point. What is the demand of the farmers? The farmer unions have put forward multiple demands to Government of India. But the most important one, and as far as I am concerned, the most tricky one, is legal guarantee to MSP. The farmers want Government of India to provide a guaranteed MSP. Now you might ask me, sir, what do you mean by a legalization of MSP or legally guaranteed MSP? What does it actually mean? Again, there are multiple interpretations, but please understand this. Right now, there is no law which provides for MSP to the farmers. There is no legal provision. The farmers want Government of India to have a provision which will provide them a legally guaranteed MSP. And once it is done, if at all it is done, what will be the outcome? Please understand this now. One way to have a legally guaranteed MSP is that the farmer will take the crop to the market. The buyer has to purchase this crop at minimum support price. For example, if I am a farmer, I have cultivated a crop, I will take the crop to the market. Currently, the market price can be different compared to MSP. Because in the market, the prices are determined based on supply and demand. But the farmers demand that with legal backing to MSP, under guaranteed MSP, when the farmer will take the crop to the market, the buyer has to pay MSP to purchase the crop. That is one way to provide a legally guaranteed MSP to the farmer. Second point, later I'll discuss what are the problems with these demands. Don't worry. Second way, the farmer takes the crop to the market, nobody is buying them, or the farmer is not able to sell it in the market. Farmer will take the crop to the government, sell it to the government has to purchase it at MSP. And as of now, please understand, government purchases the crops at MSP, but not all the crops which are covered under MSP. Reason being, government mainly purchases the crops to either distribute it under food distribution programs, for example, Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Anna Yojana, or else government will purchase the food grains, store it in their godowns in the form of buffer stock. And what is the use of the buffer stock? Government will use the buffer stocks and whenever there is a requirement of supply of food grains in the market. So either they will use it for buffer stocks or else they will use it for distribution purposes. That is how the government of India generally requires or procures and uses the food grains currently. But if there is a legalization of MSP, if there is a guaranteed MSP, then the farmer will take the crop to the government. Government has to purchase the crop at MSP, irrespective of whether this crop the government requires or doesn't require in the current situation. So this is basically the two ways through which the MSP can be guaranteed by the government. Now there is one more way, third way, which is being used by multiple state governments. I'll come to that in the form of way forward, or we will use it as a recommendation. So this is the demand of the farmers currently. Now what will be the benefit of it? Why are the farmers demanding a guaranteed MSP? These are the following benefits. Point number one, with guaranteed MSP, the coverage of the farmers under MSP will automatically increase. Let me give you certain data points here. As per various surveys that have been conducted by NSSO, which have been conducted by Niti Aayog, etc., right now, large number of households in India are not aware of MSP. And when I say large number of households, I'm not talking about urban households, I'm talking about households which are involved in agriculture. So the households which are already there in the agriculture sector, majority of them do not understand, do not know about, are not aware of the concept of MSP. And as a result of this, they are not able to sell their crops under MSP, get the benefit of MSP. And as such, if you look at how much crop is sold, how much of the total cultivation is sold under MSP, from one crop to another crop, it will vary. According to various surveys, out of the total production, the crops which are sold generally under MSP are in the quantity of 0% to 24.7% of the total production. In fact, another argument which I've already told you, majority of the procurement under MSP is basically paddy and wheat because of the requirements of the government. Right? So, argument is simple. Very small number of farmers are getting the benefit. Hardly around 7% of the farmers are getting the benefit of MSP because there is a focus only on the procurement or mainly on the procurement of paddy and wheat. Now, if Government of India will announce a guaranteed MSP, farmers more and more, number of farmers will take these crops to the government, sell it to the government and get benefits. What kind of benefits? Look at the third point. Increase the earnings of the farmers. And this is also in favor of the farmers only. Why? Let me elaborate on it. Currently, if you see, whenever a farmer will take the crop to the market, if the prices are very high, the farmer should get the benefit of this. Correct? The argument is simple here. When the supply of the crop to the market is very high, prices will drop and farmer will not be able to earn sufficient amount of money. Farmers suffer because of it. But when the prices are very high, the farmer will take the crop to the market, but government, when the prices are very high, will intervene in the market, increase the supply of the crops and ensure that the prices will drop down. Prices will come down. For example, Government of India in recent times has been ensuring that the prices of various agriculture commodities are lowered, right, through a process called as open market sale scheme. So, argument of the farmers is, when the prices are low, right, we are suffering. When the prices are high, we want to earn more money, but government will intervene in the market, cool down the price, and as a result of this, our earnings will take a hit. So, either ways, when the prices are low or prices are high, we are not getting the benefit. Policies of the government are consumer oriented. The policies of the government are oriented to protect the consumers, not the producers. So, at least now, if the market prices are low, I will take the crop to the government, government has to give me MSP. Or else, if the private trader has to purchase at MSP, well and very well, I will get good amount of money. So, that is one more demand of the farmers, one more benefit the farmers are looking at with guaranteed MSP. Third one will provide protection to the farmers against market volatility in prices. The prices are not stable, prices are very volatile in the market. And not just the domestic production, many of the times, even the imports of these crops, imports of many agriculture commodities will cool down, will reduce, will ensure that prices of certain agriculture commodities will fall down. And again, that is not going to provide any kind of protection to the farmers. With guaranteed MSP, they will be protected. And farmers are also saying, with guaranteed MSP, it will help me in diversification of crops. Why? Right now, the farmers are getting more returns, or let's say better returns on their investment in certain crop. And because they earn better returns in certain crop, they will keep on cultivating more and more of the same crop. What about other crops? That is the reason even various ministries are of the opinion that MSP for certain crops has not helped us in diversification in India. Because the government procures few of these crops, farmers earn more returns on these crops, again and again they'll keep on cultivating same crops in order to earn better returns. And on the other hand, because the production of some other crops is affected, such as oil seeds, even today we remain dependent on the imports. We are importers of certain agriculture crops. So, if I have a guaranteed MSP, I don't have to be worried now. If I have a guaranteed MSP, based on the quality of the soil, I will cultivate this crop, sell it to the government, because government will purchase it at a guaranteed MSP. So, this will help the farmers to diversify their production, diversify agriculture production. So, these are some of the benefits that the farmers are saying. With guaranteed MSP, we will be able to get all of these benefits. But having said so, what is the other side of the discussion? What is the flip side of having a guaranteed MSP? Point number one, it will reduce export competitiveness. How? And the argument in this case is, if government will provide guaranteed MSP, obviously the farmers would want to get this amount in the market. And if the market prices are not determined by the supply and demand, rather government's MSP is the price in the market, obviously the export competitiveness would be lost. For example, imagine supply of certain commodity after production, supply of certain commodity will be very high. And once the supply is very high, what will happen to the market prices? Market prices will come down in India. And when the market prices will come down, export competitiveness automatically will start increasing. Traders will purchase more of this crop, export more of this crop to the international market. But with guaranteed MSP, market supply and demand will not be determining the prices, and that will affect export competitiveness. Point number 2, it will increase the expenditure of the government. That is straightforward. If Government of India will start providing guaranteed MSP, if government will procure the crops and pay MSP, obviously, right, because now it doesn't procure all these crops, henceforth, after the guaranteed MSP is introduced, now government has to shell out more money to the farmers, which will increase the revenue expenditure of the government, which might have an impact on even the fiscal deficit of the government. Third one, it will increase the market prices, no doubt. How so? Right now, imagine a trader will purchase any agriculture commodity in the market prices are determined based on supply and demand. Now, if the trader, rather than paying, let's say, a market price of X rupee, will have to pay MSP, which is greater than X rupee. So, the trader will pay a higher amount of money, and obviously the trader will supply this crop to me at a higher price. So, this will have an impact on price levels in the market. It will also have an impact on consumers in the Indian economy. But more importantly, this idea of a legalization of MSP, has it been tried out anywhere else? Within India, have we tried it out? Yes. For example, Maharashtra government, couple of years ago, tried out this model, where Maharashtra government said, whatever is the MSP, the traders in the market will have to purchase it at MSP. No option. And if the traders will purchase it at price less than MSP, they will be penalized. A penalty was announced. And as a result of this, what happened? Traders simply said, then we will not purchase only. We don't want to purchase. They stopped making purchases from the market. Right? And as a result of this, finally, the state government of Maharashtra had to walk back and withdraw this policy. So, there are large implications of it. It will affect the procurement of the traders. And finally, what about WTO norms? And what about WTO norms? If Government of India will start providing MSP, MSP is a trade distorting measure. If Government of India will start providing guaranteed MSP, then obviously we will basically be violating many of the provisions of World Trade Organization. And as such, with the current MSP regime itself, many developed countries such as USA are alleging that Government of India is violating the provisions of Agreement on Agriculture, which India is a member of as a member of WTO. Right, so argument is, if Government of India will spend money by providing MSP, do they have warehousing capacity? No. Already FCI takes multiple amount or capacity of warehousing on rental basis. We are paying money for it. Now, they will have to procure more because of a guaranteed MSP, and that will basically increase the burden of expenditure of government, which is, right, again leading to violation of WTO guidelines or WTO norms. So, these are some of the concerns which are associated if government will announce a guaranteed MSP. So, on one side, farmers say, these are the benefits, these are the problems we are facing. So, these are the benefits of guaranteed MSP. So, give me guaranteed MSP. On the other side, government says that the MSP that I am paying is already very, very high. It's already very, very high. It runs into lakhs of crores of rupees in the last 10 years. So, it is already very high. And compared to what they get in other countries, I am giving you more MSP in India. But legalization, that is a guaranteed MSP, legally guaranteeing MSP is not possible for me. So, in this kind of a situation, what is a way forward then? That should also be written by you. What is the way forward? What is the solution to this issue then? You can recommend 3 way forwards. 1, government, rather than providing MSP, rather than giving MSP, why don't we provide more and more income support? Rather than providing price support, why not provide income support to the farmers? That is, for example, all of you heard of PM Kisan initiative, PM Kisan scheme. It's an income support scheme of the Government of India. So, why not do away with the idea of a MSP, which was introduced when we were facing scarcity in agriculture sector, and rather than that, provide more and more income support to the farmers. And one more advantage is, income support is not price distorting. Government will provide income support to me. I'm a farmer. Based on my requirement, I will cultivate the crops. Based on the market situation, I will cultivate the crops. Don't you think that will basically promote better cultivation practices by the farmers? Will that not promote crop diversification by the farmers? Answer is yes. In fact, when the government introduced the 3 agriculture laws, the 3 farm laws, Mr. Ramesh Chand, an expert in the agriculture sector, had written a paper on this. And the viewpoint that was put forward was, in certain sectors where government doesn't interfere, the growth rate of those sectors is much better. For example, the milk production in India, right, and other sectors, allied sectors within the agriculture sector, where government doesn't interfere much, the growth rate was in the range of around 4 to 10%. Whereas in the cereal production, where government is majorly present by giving MSP, the annual growth rate was in the range of around 1%. So the argument was very simple. The market, these particular areas of the market should be free from the government intervention, so that the market forces will promote more and more efficient utilization of resources. So that is one recommendation. Second one is, in order to ensure that the farmers will get better returns, we need to invest a lot of money in developing capital infrastructure, or capital expenditure in developing infrastructure is needed. For example, warehousing facility. For example, transportation, logistics, better logistics facilities. And for example, better warehousing facilities, etc. So we need to have a huge amount of investment and develop agriculture infrastructure. Now again, having said so, it doesn't mean that the current government or the previous government have not done anything regarding this. Do not misconstrue or misunderstand my statement. For example, current government last week itself has announced that they will construct more than 63,000 warehouses throughout India. Couple of years ago, they announced, right, the investment of lakhs of crores of rupees in agriculture infrastructure fund. So they have announced, but we need more and more investment, and also we need investment in these areas from private sector. Third one, I said earlier, one way to provide a guaranteed MSP is government will procure all these crops at MSP. Another one is traders will procure at MSP. Is there a middle point between this? Is there a stopgap solution? Is there a solution for both of these? Solution in the sense, these are two extremes. Is there a middle path? There is one which is called as a price deficiency payment. But in terms of implementation, there are certain issues here. What is this idea of a price deficiency payment? Many states in India, for example, Haryana is trying this out. Madhya Pradesh is also trying this out. That is, basically they use different names. They call this as Bhavantar Bhugatan Yojana, right, etc. Don't worry about it. But the argument is, imagine the MSP is X rupees. The farmer will sell the crop in the market at Y rupees. Assuming, right, Y is smaller than X. That is, the price at which the farmer has sold is less than MSP. The difference between this is given as a deficiency payment by the government to the farmer. So this is one way that the government can ensure that the farmer will get the MSP. Farmer will get the MSP price. This is basically referred to as a price deficiency payment. But in terms of implementation, there are certain issues regarding the implementation. For example, what if the buyer and seller will collude, right, will form a cartel, right, and they will purposely sell this crop at a lower price to the buyer. And the bill, right, that is basically the deficiency payment will be very high, right, and the government will end up paying a very high deficiency payment. So there are certain issues regarding the implementation, right, where these are sold, at what price these are sold, what should be the market reference price for all of it, right? There are certain technical difficulties. But nevertheless, you can recommend these as a way forward to the stalemate between the farmers as well as the government of India. So this is the discussion I wanted to have regarding whether the demand of the farmers to provide a guaranteed MSP, is it feasible or not feasible? That's it from my side. Take care. If you are yet to subscribe to our YouTube channel, kindly hit the like button as well as subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Have a great day.